All right, good morning, YouTube. So this is the nostalgic shave video that I was challenged to by Jeff from Molecular Shave. I'll link his channel below. He's someone that participated in my red, white, and blue challenge, who's also from Michigan. And this is the challenge that he put out for me this week. And it's actually going to be, I think, an interesting challenge because I don't really have a lot of nostalgic memories about shaving, but we'll get to that in just a minute. So, you can see I did my hair today before the video because it's the morning and I'm going out today. And before I tell you the name of the brand, I know it's a little coincidental, but when I think of nostalgic, getting into hair a few years ago, there's actually a brand called Nostalgic Grooming, which I have mentioned before in the past, and this is their summer water-based, which is a strong hold, unorthodox water-based pomade, and this is scented in lime coconut. And the reason this is nostalgic for me, other than the name, is because when I first got into the homebrew scene for hair products, this was one of the very first products that I bought from an artisan directly. And I bought it when it dropped, and not this exact jar, that jar is gone, but I got a new one just a few weeks ago from Janelle and Company, and it's doing a good job, as you can see, and it's hot out in Michigan right now, so that's what we're doing. All right, so let's talk about the shave real quick. So what are we doing today? So, you know, my dad shaved when I was growing up, but he didn't, he wasn't a wet shaver, and it wasn't really his fault because his dad died when he was a teenager, and he was sick for a while before that, like in his formative years. And his brother, one died when he was 5, who was a lot older than him, and the other one was already out of the house and had a family basically at the time. So my dad didn't really get to learn from his dad. And through not having that experience, through no fault of his own, in my opinion, I didn't really get to learn from my dad either. In fact, I dragged my dad into wet shaving. So I want to say going on 4 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I probably through my hair group in Facebook, got into wet shaving, and I ended up discovering Maggard Razors, who are out of Michigan, in Adrian, Michigan. I have yet to set foot in the building. It's a plan of mine. Jeff, Molecular Chef, has actually talked about getting a group of Midwest shavers together to meet up there sometime, and I would love to do that. Anyways, and so Maggard has starter kits, and so I ordered a starter kit for myself in June, 3 or 4 years ago now, probably closer to 3, and I got the limes and bergamot, which the scent match will go great with this lime and coconut. So we got a lime match there, which is actually made for them by Maria Armin, I believe that's how you say your last name, who owns Through the Fire. Through the Fire is another company. It's her company, and she does shaving, and I have a sample that I got from Maggard's, but she lives a few, I don't know how many miles, but like an hour or so north of where I do, and she's really nice. I actually got my father-in-law's both beard oil and beard balms from her for Christmas last year, and they smelled fantastic, and she was just super nice. And anyways, you should check her out. So if you like the Maggard stuff, then you need to go to Through the Fire because she has so many scent options. She makes different products. She makes products specifically geared towards women for leg shaving as well. So if you have someone in your life that shaves their legs, like your wife or your girlfriend or whoever, your best friend, I don't know, and you want to get them something nice, that's cool. And if you like classic cars, I think there was a rebrand at some point, but I doesn't have it on my sample, but all of her soaps are, at least on the men's side, are modeled after the names after classic cars. So anyways, so since I was using the Maggard, the first soap I ever got with the matching splash, the witch hazel based splash, because I was afraid of alcohol when I first started, I figured it was a good idea to just use everything that came in that kit that I still have, which is most of it. So I have you may recognize the Maggard Synth synthetic brush that's from the kit, so I've got that ready to go. I kind of have that relegated to being my travel brush because it's a bit smaller than I like. So there's that. And I also have the Maggard Razors. This over here, so you can see it. Starter razor. Now this is not the original head. I got the mild head. This is the V3A, which is the V3 Aggressive closed comb. And I don't have any of the blades from the original blade pack. I was already using a Persona blade. This is my first time using Persona, so I figured I would just keep going with that. So that's like the one thing that kind of doesn't tick the nostalgic box for me. But anyway, so what's more nostalgic for me in wet shaving than my own beginning? And since I still have all the stuff, I figured, you know what, let's just do it. So let me get that set up and I'll be back when I'm ready to start the shave. Hey, sorry, I haven't used this in a while, so I wanted to, and there's not much left. I have the Ring of Death going on, so I wanted to test this more or less before I committed to it. But it performs great. So when you're talking starter kits, obviously you've got Maggards. And if you're here as a beginner to wet shaving, I have recommended Maggards to like everyone that I dragged into the hobby. And I still would. I always, you know, it used to be I would just say Maggards. And I wouldn't, you know, just because that's who I used. And I was a real homer, try to get everything I can from Michigan. And I still do, for the most part. But having gotten further into the hobby and discovering Sterling and PAA, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, you know, there's always options. I tell everyone all the options. So like how I think of it is, Maggard's is a great starter kit. You get a good razor, you get a good brush, you can choose a few different soaps and everything, and you can add on whatever you want. I mean, they'll let you, there's different packages that you can do. So you can add, I haven't done any research in a minute, but you know, you can get a black set, you can get beginner set, you can get the standard set, you can get like the deluxe version that has everything. You can add on alum. Oh wow. Come on, let's get it. There we go. Definitely a good beginner razor. But the last person that I recommended to, I actually recommended PAA, and that's because I had just bought one of their starter kits for my wife's stepfather. You can see I have a lovely ingrown hair right here, and it's not from razors. I'm just prone to them, really. They just happen sometimes. I even get them in the back of my hair where I get fades, which is, I know, probably a gross thing to share, but it's not that big a deal. Anyways, I got one for my father-in-law, and I was really impressed with the symmetry, which is the starter razor that Doug throws in there. Obviously, you get a CK6 soap in a 2-ounce, and you get a splash that matches that. And he's got like 7 or 8 different, like I don't know, it's exactly 7 options you can do to pick from. And you get the Green Ray, which is on par with the size of this Maggard brush, in my opinion. But for a synthetic brush, which is all Doug does, if you don't know, and he does them really well, or he gets them done really well, you can't do much better, like I was saying, than PAA anyways. So yeah, it's a great kit. And then the only one I don't have personal experience with purchasing is the Sterling kit. But what I can tell you, I think it's a Bali, is the, there's upgrades. It starts with a Bali, which is a cheaper DE. I've never had one, but you can get them just about anywhere that sells safety razors, and they're not expensive at all. And I think you can upgrade to some of their razors, which are more expensive and stainless steel. But the one really superior thing that Sterling has going on is that I think, I should have done the research, but I'm just going off the cuff here. I think there's 2 or 3 different setups. You can get like a full-size soap and like 3 sample size aftershaves, and their sample sizes are really generous on all ends. I mean, I've yet to buy a full size yet. They're perfect for like travel. I was just downstate weekend before last, and I brought my sample size of Executive Man, the Splash, and the soap. And I mean, there's a ton left still. It's a really hardy soap too, so it's not gonna, it lasts a long time. And then I think the deluxe version, I can't remember, but you can get more software products with Sterling than you can in the base packages than you can with Maggard or PAA. And I'm sure there's more like what West Coast Shaving and everything, and there's tons of other websites you can go to, but those are the 3 that I recommend to beginners, because I think that not only are you getting good kit, but you're getting superior products in one way or another. But yeah, so I got myself a kit, and then that Christmas was like the new beginning for me. So I got my dad a wet shaving kit, and then since then, basically, I don't want to say I've ignored my mother's ideas for gifts for him, but yeah. I mean, I've definitely overwhelmed my dad with wet shaving stuff for Father's Day. I toned it down. I got him just some Galactic Witch Hazel and a Phoenix Pick and microcloth cleaner. He's got a lot of samples, so he's got big hands. That's why he's got the Peregrino brush. So I got him that and some hair products actually. So got my wife's father, I got him the shave kit. I got plans for him going forward. And he's a head shaver too, so it's twofold. He was using Harry's, but he wasn't happy. Anyways, hope you guys had a good 4th. I had company from last Wednesday until yesterday, so I wasn't really in the shave den at all. I think I snuck in one afternoon to do my hair video when my company was away with my wife. And I'm a little awkward today because this is like the first time that I like openly told my wife that I'm doing a YouTube video. She knew I was kind of dabbling, but I told her, hey, I'm gonna go film a video real quick. And she's being very supportive. We're on break from work still. I'm gonna take my 1-year-old to get his 1-year checkup in a few hours. And part of my weekend, I installed the ring system that we got from Amazon as part of Prime Day. So I'm actually, part of the reason I want to leave, I could just stay home with my 5-year-old, but I want to test that out. I haven't armed it really since installing it, because my company got up a lot earlier than us, and I didn't want everyone getting woken up by the super loud alarm system. I'm gonna do that. And I posted one of my groups. I just want to shout out to all the people that participated in the red, white, and blue shave. Some really cool stuff, creative ways of doing it. Brian from the Wet Shave Experience was on the road, and he knew. I challenged him late. I said, you don't have to do it. It wasn't really a challenge because I asked him ahead of time, but I said, you don't have to do it. He said, no, I'll do it. then my buddy Scott, I think I might do a cleanup pass. I was gonna try to do 2 and out, but my buddy Scott actually dyed his lather blue, which was very unique to say the least. And then Clay did one, Jeff did one, and I think I'll just put a link to all their videos in the description. I'm not going to link it here now because for 2 reasons. 1, I don't know how to do it, and 2, I always think that's like, why do you want me to stop the middle of my video and go to another video? I don't get that. So I like the link in the description better than like the link popping up. I don't know, it's just me. But it was really nice of them. Clay, if I didn't say your name, sorry dude. I think I did. But I'm glad Clay's filming. I know he'd be a success if he started. He's got so much knowledge. He's in so many groups. He's got so much product to use. Before I do this last pass, one more person I want to shout out. Speaking of nostalgic, or just old stuff. So, I'm in 1988, which is the last year that Gillette did DEs of any importance. And they're hard to find. But I found one on eBay, and I'm not an eBay guy. And I really wasn't in a position to spend money at that time. I had it, but you know, it's like I have a budget every month. And it's not because we can't afford more, it's just to keep me in check. So, which honestly is probably a good idea. But anyways, so I found a 1988 L1 in this case, which is my year in quarter. And I told my friend Brian D. Foley, if you're in any shave groups, you know Brian. A super nice guy, he's good at finding razors for people and stuff. I found it and I said, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get this. My wife just got me a new vintage razor for Father's Day. It's not, you know. And he says, well, I'm gonna buy it either way. And if you, you know, want to buy it for me, great. And so not only am I buying it for him, which I haven't yet, and I'm going to, and I'll make sure so I owe Brian money. I'm just saying it here. You know, there's a public record of it. But he had it sent to me directly. And it's in great shape, man. Super speed, black handle. Haven't used it yet. I do have plans for the first use on this. It's going to be a little while, but you will see it. I'm not going to use it until then. We're going to go raw on that one. But it's in good shape, really good shape. Hard to, like, impossible to find, really. So that was really cool, Brian. So, all right, let me just do a few cleanups here and we'll be good. And then speaking of my buddy Scott, I think, did I go? I don't know. I think I did. Okay, shoot. Hold on. Just gonna relather for a second. I kind of went out of order. I'm trying to do a 2-pass, like hybrid, where I just go with my growth pattern, but anyways. My buddy Scott and I have been talking. He's gonna come up and see me in a few weeks. And he's gonna show me how to hunt down DEs at antique stores. I've got a few antique places in mind. I've got like a 3-story building full of antiques, and it's really hard, but I'm waiting. I want to wait for him. I want to wait for the expert so we can go. And really, what I want to get, what I have in mind, is a Gillette Ball End Tech. Which, if you know anything about them, you're probably sitting here saying, "Well, why do you?" Those are super easy to find. They're not rare at all. And that's not what I wanted. Actually, I have I did an earlier video, but my travel setup includes the Spearhead Shaving Company's, you know, Gillette Mock. You know, so this is the shave kit, and inside, actually, I know I have my Parker Semi-Slant right now, because that's my any situation shave for the road. So if I have any, you know, crazy amount of growth or anything, that's the place to go for me, is my Parker. So I brought it with me when we went downstate because I figured it could handle any situation growth-wise in case. And you know what? It sure did. You know, I'm thinking we're only gonna get a DFS with this razor, and that's okay. That's actually feeling pretty good right there. And I learned my lesson on my neck. I think I gotta finally listen to Clay and invest in some PAA, prickly pear pre-shave for this area, because it's so sensitive. It's so, you know, it doesn't seem to matter how much pressure I push or what blade I use or what razor I use. This is just a really high risk for razor burn. And yeah, so I'm gonna invest in some of that. Let me clean up here. Okay, so we did that. So it's close to a DFS. It's fine. There's a reason that I bought more razors, right? There's nothing wrong with that razor. I've just surpassed it to some degree. So let's do the post here. Yeah, like I said, it's been a while since I've used a lot of this stuff, but this is where I started. In fact, beginning this year, I only had that razor. Now I have a 59 or a 62 slim, a 59 fat boy, 59 red tip, an Ascension Select, a Parker semi-slant, a 1988 Gillette, super speed black handle, and the PAA Ascension Select. Did I say that already? I don't know. Oh, the Rockwell Success in black. So, which to a lot of people out there in this hobby, that's not that many, but that's from January on. So like 6 months-ish, I've got a lot of razors, and my wife's getting sick of it. In fact, I gotta get a new holder because I have more than maxed out in a very short period of time the other ones. All right, let me throw some witch hazel on, some more witch hazel on, I should say. Normally I do this first, but like I said, I'm a little distracted. But it's a shave from when I was a beginner, so why wouldn't I shave like an idiot, right? All right, well, there you go. There's a nostalgic shave. And yeah, cool. So I got a few more ideas for videos coming up. I'm gonna link all the people I mentioned in this video. I'm gonna link Maggard's. I'll even link the starter kit links for Sterling and PAA. I really doubt if you're watching this video that you're new to this. But if you are, or you know, whatever, assuming all those companies are still around, and they should be, I still stand by that in terms of what you get and how much you put in and everything. But yeah, so anyways, I get all my notes here. I actually wrote down some notes. Oh yeah, once upon a time, I forgot, my wife was talking about nostalgic, had asked me back when I was bearded, you know, who's gonna teach her kids to shave? This guy. So that's good. And boys, if you ever watch this, if I ever get hit by a truck or have an aneurysm, I love you very much. I'm proud of you, and you make me happy. Okay. Have a good week, guys.